Cab-over trucks, once the face of America's highways. Then they almost disappeared. And now they're coming back. But why are manufacturers turning back to this old design? Cab-overs may look simple, but trust me, it's not about nostalgia. It's smart engineering, and it might just be the future of transport. Today, you'll discover why they're making a comeback, how they work, why they fit better in crowded cities, and why this design makes more sense than the classic long nose. Let's start with the first advantage, maneuverability. In the city, every inch matters. A long nose truck often has a wheelbase of over 200 inches. A cab-over, sometimes just 155 inches. That's almost 1.5 meters difference, and you feel it right away. The turning circle can be up to 25% smaller. Picture a narrow street in Manhattan. A long nose has to reverse. Adjust, turn again. A cab-over makes that same corner in one smooth move. It saves time, fuel, and frustration. A massive difference for fleets in tight cities. And that's one of the reasons cab-overs are making a comeback. But turning isn't the only challenge. What the driver sees matters even more. Visibility may be the biggest advantage of them all. In a long nose, the driver often sits more than 2 meters behind the front axle. Everything right in front of the truck? One giant blind spot. A cyclist or pedestrian stepping in front of the bumper completely disappears from view. In a cab-over, the driver sits directly above the front axle. That's meters closer, which means a direct line of sight to what's happening right in front of the truck. Picture this. A cyclist moves forward at a red light. In a long nose, out of sight. In a cab-over, still visible, always. It's practical and regulation. London's Direct Vision Standard, introduced in 2020/2021, tightened in October 2024 to a minimum of 3 stars or a progressive safe system. It forces trucks to prove they have fewer blind spots. And cab-overs naturally score higher. And that's exactly what makes this design a game changer for crowded cities. Seeing better is one thing. Carrying more and using less fuel, that's another advantage. Cab-overs are lighter, less chassis, no long nose, which means more payload. A cab-over can carry a few hundred extra kilos on each trip. Spread that over thousands of miles, and you're talking tons of cargo every year. For companies running on thin margins, that's worth gold. But it's not only about weight. Aerodynamics play a role too. At lower speeds, like in city traffic, almost half of the drag comes from the nose and the gap behind it. Make the front shorter, and you cut that weight down. Less drag means less fuel. On the highway, the savings are greatest. In the city, smaller, but still valuable. That's pure efficiency. Efficiency keeps the wheels rolling. But uptime, that's where the real money is made. This is where the cab-over really shines. Most models have a hydraulic tilt mechanism. In seconds, the entire cab flips forward. And what do you see? Engine, transmission, all the vital parts, open and accessible. No panels to remove. No hours of work in cramped spaces. For mechanics, it means faster service. For companies, it means less downtime and more revenue. Newer models go even further. Electronic diagnostic tools scan the entire system in real time. Faults show up instantly on the dashboard. The truck tells you what's wrong itself. Faster repairs, more profit. That's pure uptime. Easy to fix, fast to service. But the future? It runs on batteries. Electric trucks are the future, but batteries take up massive amounts of space. In long-nose trucks, they're often crammed in behind the engine. The result? Less room for cargo. Cab-overs handle it smarter. Batteries go under the floor between the axles, in spots that don't shorten trailer length. So the truck stays compact while still keeping maximum cargo capacity. That's why brands like Kenworth and Peterbilt are building electric low-cab forwards, and why newcomers like Nikola with the Tree BEV are bringing the cab-over back into focus. In Europe, Mercedes is doing the same with the electric E-Conic. Smart use of space makes the cab-over ready for the electric future. Electric isn't just theory. It's driving real models, rolling into real markets. Cabovers used to be rare in the US, an exception, a rarity. But that's changing. International brands like Hino and Mercedes-Benz have been building them for years. Proven workhorses, not just concepts. Real production models. Especially in sectors where every meter counts: waste collection, city deliveries, tight logistics hubs. What used to be rare is now right there in the brochures. More choice for manufacturers, more options for fleets, and more variety for drivers. Today's comeback feels new. But once before, cabovers ruled the highways. Cabovers weren't always rare. In the 1960s and 70s, you saw them everywhere in the US. The reason? Regulations. The total length of truck and trailer was strictly limited. The more compact the cab, the longer the trailer. More cargo, more profit. Picture a typical 18-wheeler from 1975. A boxy cab, driver sitting over the engine, and a trailer stretched to maximum length. But in the 1980s, everything changed. The law was updated. Only the trailer length was counted in the limit. And suddenly, the cabover lost its biggest advantage. Drivers switched en masse to long-nose trucks. More cab space, more comfort, quieter rides, and extra safety in frontal crashes. Within 10 years, cabovers had almost vanished from American highways. Only in Europe and Japan did they remain, thanks to strict rules and narrow streets. What was once the standard became a side note, almost forgotten. But the new generation is nothing like the rough rides of the 1970s. Modern cabovers are smarter, stronger, packed with technology, air suspension for comfort, advanced safety systems, and electronic assistance on every axle and brake. Take the Nikola BEV, a 733 kilowatt-hour battery. Range? Up to 530 kilometers, depending on use and conditions. Built on a cabover platform with batteries smartly integrated under the floor. Or look at Max LR and Terra Pro. Full cabover designs. Low-entry cabovers with stand-up and dual-steer options, plus joystick controls for the bodywork. Since 2020, even available as full electric. In Europe, cabovers never disappeared, but they kept evolving. The Volvo FMX, built for construction sites. The Scania R-Series, from basic to luxury sleeper cabs. Compact, but equipped with high-tech engines and automatic transmissions. The modern cabover isn't a throwback. It's a high-tech platform built for the future of transport. Picture this: an autonomous truck. No driver, no steering wheel, no dashboard. In an autonomous truck, a long nose has no purpose. Once valued for comfort, now nothing but wasted space. A cabover gives designers a blank canvas. Compact front, flexible layout, more room for sensors, batteries, and software. And that's not the only reason. Look at e-commerce. Millions of packages every single day. Ordered, shipped, delivered. Those trips aren't about highways. They cut straight through crowded cities, narrow streets, tight corners, full of cars, packed with bikes. I'm curious, would you choose the comfort of a long nose or the maneuverability of a cabover? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next truck tech stories.